Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is inflammation and pain management. Hurry back and join us. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is inflammation and pain management. I had to have one of our wonderful guests return again to give her insight on inflammation and pain management, and that is Kathera Jasal, better known as Dr. K. Hey, Dr. K.
Hey, Marsha.
Okay, now, we just had you here not too long ago, and I couldn't believe it. I said, I have to have her fill me in on some things. So
Okay.
I wanted to go over some subject matters that people very seldom talk about, but it's in everyday life, and that's pain.
Yes.
And we're not just talking about, a car accident pain or pain from a fall, a slip and fall. We're talking about pain from, it may be like the headache, disturbed stomach, acid reflux, things of that nature rather. So can you give us some insight on what your take is about inflammation and pain management?
Okay. All right. So the word inflammation. So what it is that people are literally on fire on the inside. So there's a reason for that. And I want people to imagine being in the chemistry lab. And they have the beakers, the glass beakers. So the beaker is your body. And then you've seen where, well, they typically have witches and they're bubble, toil and trouble, and they're pouring all of these acidic compounds into this beaker, and then it starts fizzing and bubbling and smoke and all of that. And that's what's happening with people's bodies. They're inundated with chemicals, steroids, just pollution, drugs of all sorts and kinds. There are things that are put in the foods that's causing the body to react like in a panic state. So the body is trying to speak by screaming. There's something wrong here. There's something in here that does not belong. Stop doing this to me. And people take things to mask it so you don't feel the pain, but it's there. It's like driving your car and the engine starts knocking. So you just turn up the radio so you don't hear it. Well, whatever's happening to the engine is not going to stop, and it's going to keep, and it's overheating.
Okay.
So that's what happens. That's what the inflammation is.
But you know what? With the inflammation, now I'm not sure if that's how gout comes about, but some people who have digested too much of something, and they call it the rich food or the rich man's disease,
right?
And they call it gout. Now, is that inflammation of another sort?
Well, it's inflammation, but it is a wasting disease. It's too much waste in the body. So, the body becomes a receptacle for all of these things that was never supposed to be there in the first place. So the body once again starts expanding, and we've seen the people with the legs and
right.
And they're swollen, and water retention and all of that. I have a friend that told me, says, you know what, Dr. Kafera, he's a mortician. He says, we only have to use half of the amount of embalming fluid on people. I said, why is that? He said, because people are walking around embalmed already. With these preservatives and different things like that, people have no idea the amount of chemicals that they're ingesting and putting on and in them. So that's what's happening with the body. The body's literally screaming, get this out of here.
So how would they know item or products that they're using is causing the inflammation. Here it is, my daily routine.
Okay.
I'm eating what I have a taste for, but all of a sudden now I don't feel good. I don't know if it's my breakfast, if it's my lunch, or if it's my dinner. All I know is that I don't feel good, and my feet are swollen.
Yeah. Well, this is what I tell people. If you look at the ingredients, and there are things, these polysyllabic words, that you don't know what it is, and there's dyes and different things like that, your body isn't identifying it as food, so it's automatically rejecting it. And this is just a word that came up for me. It's kind of like terrorists. And it's running amok inside the body, and it's just doing all of these things and breaking the cells cannot keep up with the pollution, the amount of pollution that people are ingesting. So once again, there's got to be a balance, and people are not drinking enough water, enough purified water.
Right, and water is the main one. I had a lady tell me a couple of weeks ago that she didn't like water, but she was drinking a cup a day, and I asked her, I said, well, I've been taught that if you look at your urine, that if it's dark gold, you haven't had any water. If it's medium light, you've had some. But if it's clear as the water in the toilet, you've had your consumption for the day.
That's a good barometer.
Okay.
You know, it's like...
I follow it.
Yeah, you check it out and see. Because when it's real dark, okay, women can identify with this. If you went and had your hair colored, you want them, or a relaxer or something, you want them to rinse these chemicals out until the water runs clear. You don't want to walk around with these chemicals still bubbling and penetrating.
Right.
So it's the same thing. And people just don't know. You know, people lose their taste for water. And when you're thirsty, you know, people say, "Oh, I'm so thirsty."
But you're not thirsty enough.
When you are thirsty, you are going into chronic dehydration.
Right.
So you need to keep hydrated.
Is that where the part is when you're thirsty? If your mouth feels like sand, like it's just like I need something to drink, but you make the mistake and you drink something sugary, or you drink something salty, a beer for salt and a pop for sugar, and you think that satisfies the urge, but yet it could have been water, which if you drink the water, you wouldn't just drink the 8 ounces, you probably would drink more because the body is actually crying for water, but you're trying to put something in there to flavor the mouth.
Exactly. You know, going back to our vehicles again, driving our car, the manufacturer has specified requirements. If it says unleaded, you put unleaded. If it says regular, it's regular. If it's premium, it's premium. You do not put olive oil in the gas tank. You don't put other things in the gas tank. It requires certain things, and our body requires certain things. Number one is oxygen, because without oxygen, there's no life, okay? Then the other is water, okay? When you ingest water, it's going to hydrate, it's going to cleanse, and you will actually get more energy because the water has oxygen in it. So it's oxygenating your body. There's no beverage that is like
Should
water.
replace water, right?
It doesn't replace it.
But a lot of the ladies nowadays who don't have a taste for water, they're putting slices of lemon, slices of cucumbers, something like that. Now, is that helpful when they put that in there?
It absolutely is, because what the lemon does, the lemons and the limes, even though they call them acidic, it actually alkalizes the water. So research has shown that disease cannot exist in an alkaline environment. So putting the lemon, whatever can spark you to drink more water, then you put that in there. But lemons, limes, cucumbers, because cucumber is an excellent hydrator. And one of the major ones that I love is watermelon with the black seeds. you know,
Okay.
the hybrids and those kind of things, but I like the watermelon. And when you eat the watermelon, not only is it fibrous, so it helps with elimination, because that's very important, but it hydrates your body, and it's sweet. But it's a natural sweetness, because I know some people say, well, you know, you shouldn't eat too many fruits because that's too much sugar. Those are slow sugars. The other ones that you eat that's processed are fast sugars. So that's what sends your body into a state of panic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to find out where they get that black watermelon from. We'll be right back.
3 out of 4 kids are not as secure as they should be because their car seats are not used correctly. But the latch system makes it easier to get it right and to hold your kids tight. Anchor, tether, latch. Learn more at safercar.gov.
And welcome back to the second half of the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, I have to correct myself. I was trying to tell you guys before we went to commercial that it's black seeded watermelon. I mean, the rind on the outside is dark. It's darker than the average watermelon that you see. And when you cut it open, it's ruby, real red with the seeds in it. And the seeds are black. So it's called black seeded watermelon. And you can get it at your Eastern market. You can get it at your organic market. Or you can go south and you can get it there too. Okay. Now, you know, that watermelon in particular, black seeded watermelon, is really sweet.
Yes.
Okay. And it's a little more costly than the regular watermelon that we get all the time. But there's a difference between having a seeded watermelon and a non-seeded watermelon. And I think a lot of people are going towards non-seeded watermelons, but they don't really know that that is a hybrid. That watermelon is made.
Yeah, it's genetically modified.
Right?
Yes, genetically modified. I want my fruits and vegetables in its original form.
Correct.
I can remember apples. You know, I mean, like the apples, you know, we climb the tree and get the apples. And some of them were misshapen and different things like that. Now, when you go to the grocery store, all the apples are the same size and they're shiny and the light is showing. I mean, like they're modeling, you know, like, oh, I'm so attractive. This is what, you know. And it's like, I don't mind my tomatoes being misshapen. They don't have to all fit in the same kind of container and that kind of thing. So once again, seeded, preferably over the seedless.
Right.
Yes.
Right. But okay, now let's touch on pain management.
Yes.
A lot of people are trying to figure out what they should be doing so that they don't have to run to the doctor and they don't have to take a pill.
Okay.
What is your take on pain management?
Well, I have techniques that I use as far as pain management. And once again, the mind actually controls what's happening in the body. And you can hold a thought in your mind and it can produce a chemical reaction. And one of the demonstrations that I do when I speak is I have my audience imagine that they have a lemon. And then I say, okay, you got your lemon? They go, okay. I want you to imagine that you have your lemon. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that you take this lemon and you're rolling it back and forth on the counter. And as you're rolling it back and forth, it's getting softer and softer. I say, okay. Now I want you to imagine that you have this sharp knife and you're piercing the lemon with the sharp knife and you're cutting it in half. I go, okay. Now I want you to imagine picking up the lemon and opening up your mouth and squeezing the juice of the lemon in your mouth. So everybody got it? And I said, did anything happen? They say, yeah, my mouth started puckering and I could actually, and it's sour. I said, so where's the lemon? There's no lemon here. It's in the mind. So the mind controls the processes of the body. And I have pain management techniques where, well, there's one called emotional freedom technique, tapping. Some people call it tapping. And if you think about the old VHS tapes that we had, and say, for instance, you put the tape in, and there's a chase scene, and the cars are speeding, and one car hits the wall, and it's all crumpled up, and you go, whoa, let me see that again, and you rewind, and it goes back to its original shape, then that's what's possible for the body. To rewind the event before the pain.
Okay.
And I've had success with people, and I teach people how to use that as pain management. Now, I'm not saying that you should ignore pain, you got a broken leg or something like that. You know, there's pain management where you need drugs, where you need surgery and those type of things. But a lot of it is tied into emotion. So just like with the lemon and with imagining, every time we repeat, and I tell people, stop repeating what's wrong in your life. Stop repeating negative reports. I love the movie The Wiz. It has a lot of metaphysical information in it that if you sit and watch it, you will see. And there's one witch that says, don't bring me no bad news. We are inundated with murder, death, kill, and your mind does not know the difference between them saying it or you saying it to yourself. So we've got to watch what we're looking at, watch what we're listening to, and watch what we're speaking, because all of that has power over our bodies.
Right, right. Well, I realize that I've watched little children as happy as they can be, running and playing and everything, and then I can look at the parent, and the parent never smiles. The parents looks too serious, or the parents just sitting still while the kids is running around. So I kind of wonder now, we actually try to slow kids down. Slow down. Stop before you hurt yourself, this and that. But you've also eliminated some of the joy in your own life because I don't know if it's involving the fact that you're an adult, or you just feel like, you know, I shouldn't laugh, I shouldn't play. No, don't have time. But we're taking out a lot of the fun out of living by being, you know, overwhelmed with work, overwhelmed with bills, responsibilities, overwhelmed with housing issues, and then all that plays a role in your health because you have built up this negative mass in your head about all the things you're responsible for, all the sad things that happen, all the bad things that happen, and then somewhere along that line you're not happy.
Exactly. And I was reminded that I was not being satisfied. I'm not satisfied. I'm not, you know, you're never satisfied. And I had to sit with that and say, okay, how am I being? I was like, you know what? We're programmed not to be satisfied. Not with our laundry, not with our looks, not with what we're driving. So once again, that whole mindset. And I said when I was a kid that I didn't want to look and act like the grown folks I saw around me. And that's because it didn't look like they were having fun. And I go out every day and I have fun. I engage with people, I smile at people, the people who wait on me, I look to see what their name is, I address them by their name, and I have fun. Children love to be with me. You know, in Scripture it says, unless we become as little children, and the heaven part is on the inside. And if we just tap into that, if we play more, if we laugh more, that's why laughter is so healing. So that's what I do on a daily basis. I make sure, and that's part of my teaching with my students, is that you've got to laugh at least 30 minutes or an hour a day, every day, because it actually creates happy cells. Yeah.
That's good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, start laughing. Okay, okay. Well, I'm kind of like a fun person, but you know, and my fun may not be for everyone, you know. So, me myself can make myself laugh and and have a good time, and especially when I reflect over things that made me laugh in the first place, or something that was a reminder, and I just get tickled, or even beautiful flowers. Beautiful flowers automatically make you smile. So sometimes I like to just lean down and smell a flower, and I just smile because I'm like, wow, that flower smells really nice. So certain things we should do on a natural to help us get through our day, we don't do anymore.
Right.
And so in talking about pain and pain management and inflammation, we are at a point where we're taking so many pills that we don't know where to draw the line from taking pills to medical marijuana or to just do something natural that will heal us. But I tell you what, we're going to take a break. We'll be back, and Dr. K will answer that question. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Appreciation. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Movement. Along with weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
And welcome back to the last half of the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know I always tell you, you can call me, okay, or you can email me, Twitter, Facebook, all that, just to get a question in or a comment. It doesn't matter. 1-800-323-5336, Twitter, hashtag Marsha, whatever you like. So we always take in suggestions about shows, ideas that you may have, or even if you want to contact one of our guests. So feel free at any time. Now, Dr. K, I left off with, the pain management part.
Okay.
And in my search for answers for pain management for anyone, and including myself, it's not about a pill. Okay,
Right.
and I'm the kind of person, I don't like to take pills if I don't have to,
Right.
but they say I have to. That's the only way I'm going to take it is if I really have to.
Okay.
But I find that sometimes even with taking the medication, I'm drowsy, constipated, irritable, swollen.
Yeah.
So what do you think, we should do as a people to start getting away from taking so many pills? We are at a high rate of opioid addiction.
Right.
We're between the crossroads of medical marijuana and the safety of having it versus your job versus, the cost. It's so many different issues dealing with that. But if you didn't have that on the table, what would we use?
Well, what I suggest is that people do an assessment of what's going on with them currently. Like, what are they thinking about? What are they listening to? What are they speaking about? And then get with a professional. Like, I have different techniques for people, but to be committed to oneself and stay away from that which is masking the pain that you're in. It's like, why is the pain there? And other than, the accidents and those type of things, the pain is coming about because we have lifestyle and we have death style. How many things are you doing that's contributing to your demise, and how many things are you doing that's promoting a healthy lifestyle? So our commitment to self, we commit to everything else, and we, as far as women are concerned, and I deal primarily with women, women give so much over and above, caregivers and all of that, and what we need to do is self-reflect and then take care of ourselves, getting massages. See, a lot of it has to do with, a body that is not taken care of, nurtured, is going to automatically be in pain. They did an experiment where they had babies that were being held and cuddled and massaged and nurtured. They were able to thrive. And as people get older, they're not getting the nurturing, they're not getting the care. So massage, dancing, singing, the things that we did as children, just the freedom and the joy and just enjoying life, just sitting and being still. There are so many different ways that we can nurture ourselves, and when you don't nurture as well as nature, then automatically you're going to be in a state of dis-ease and a state of pain. Pain is an indicator. You want to know if your gas is low. You want to know if you're, if the car is going to stop on you. You want to know if your oil is low. So these are indicators. So what is the pain indicating? And what you can do to offset it is to pay attention and be real specific about your intentions in
But
life.
I think a lot of times for women in particular, because we do 99 things
Yes.
and don't include ourselves until the very end, is exhaustion. So you're tired by the time you get to you. But then if you see the woman next to you who's running a marathon and out cutting her grass and looks like, you know, Miss America, so to speak.
Okay.
You're angry at her because you're like, look at her, look at her. But you don't realize that she's taking care of herself. You know, she's putting in the time to take care of herself along with the family, along with the job, along with the bills. And some women, like when they're angry when they come to work in the morning, it's like, what's she mad at? Well, she slept with that anger last night. Not the husband, so to speak, but whatever was on her mind,
Right.
she brought it into work, and now it's manifested into she's unhappy.
Right.
Okay? So a lot of times the inconsistency of exercising, drinking the water, meditating,
Yes.
massages, facials, all those wonderful things that you can do to help you feel better, we make excuses.
I specialize in body maintenance, and we must do body maintenance. When you're putting out more than what you're getting, you're going to feel depleted. So it brings about pain. Pain is just an indicator that you are not taking care of yourself. You are literally abusing yourself when you're giving more than what you're getting. So psychologically, we may say, well, I can't afford that. Well, how do you afford all the holidays? You know, I mean, people are putting the money out and they're celebrating, you know, when they're told this is when you're supposed to celebrate. We've got to start celebrating ourselves on a daily basis. And meditation is number one for me. You know, I don't start the day unless I am still and quiet and I listen in. The word silent and listen have the exact same letters. So we've got to be silent, because that's the other thing I've been talking to women about. You talk too much. You're talking too much. You got to start listening and being still. Still waters run deep, and you will get the deepness in life, the love in life. You will get messages. You will know what to do, what to say, where to go, and who to be with. So we got to start taking better care of ourselves. We're number one on our list.
We truly are, and I didn't want to leave the fellas out. Sorry, guys. I didn't want to leave the fellas out, but at the end of the day, men and women can meditate.
Yes.
Men and women can eliminate.
Right.
Men and women can have massages, facials, and all that. And don't think, men, that that's a soft side. You know, like, oh, that's the weak man. No, that's not a weak man. That's a good man. Okay.
Yes.
So I believe that in equality, we both can do some of the same things to keep us here longer and more healthy.
Right.
Yep.
And I also teach people how to massage. I do couple massages and mom and daughter, and so, and then the children, they love giving. Yes, they'll do shoulders, they do feet, and they're just wonderful. So we've got to start exchanging positive energy, and laughter is the best medicine.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to laugh us out of this segment. So, Dr. K?
Yes.
You know you got to come back again.
I will. Thank you
Okay.
for having
All
me.
right.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know I always have a good time because I'm in a good seat. So I want you to enjoy what I enjoy, and that is learning something from our guests each and every time you tune in to the Just Ask Talk Show. Yes. So by all rights, if you miss us on Channel 56, please go to our cable listing and check us out on Spectrum, Comcast Detroit, Comcast Southfield, West Bloomfield, Birmingham District, East Lansing, and I might have left somebody out, Lake Orion, and it's quite a few, but you're going to enjoy us no matter when you see us. And if you don't see us on any of those cable stations, go to the web, justasktalkshow.org. So what do I always say? If you have a question about an individual or a person with a disability, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask. I'm your host. Thank you.